Hi folks, it's Bob from Mountain Crest Farm. First video I've done this week since the live stream on Sunday. Didn't mean to skip 3 days, 2 days, Monday and Tuesday. I'm doing this one Wednesday morning and it's going to be up late because I'm going to put it up Wednesday. It'll probably be about 10:30 before it gets up. Can't skip 3 days in a row. Y'all think I quit. Oh, I'm not going to quit. I'm not going to quit till y'all get tired of me and tell me to go away. Oh, okay. It's going to be supposed to be sunny this morning and cloudy this afternoon. Instead, it's looking like it's going to be gray even this morning, but that's not the important thing. The important thing is we're getting on toward the end of August. And don't forget, in my earlier coffee chats, we talked about this. You might have to go back and find it. Talking about sayings about the weather, and my wife's contention that she'd always heard that however many foggy mornings you have in August, you're going to have that many snows that winter. And I know that's got to be a southern thing because y'all are going to have way more snows than you have foggy days up north and out in the Rockies and all that. But for in the South, the saying is, however many foggy days there are, foggy mornings there are in August, there's that many snows going to come this winter. Well, we've had 3 foggy days so far in August. We're getting on toward the end of it, so we're about to run out of time to count them up. But we've had 3 so far, and today is marginally foggy. There's a little bit up tops of the tree. It's nothing that'd give you a problem driving. As a matter of fact, when I look down the road, down here at ground level, you can just barely see a little bit of it. But you get up to the tops of the trees, about 80-90 feet up, and yeah, there's some haze up there. It's enough to call it a foggy morning. So that means we've had 4 foggy mornings in August so far this year. So far this August. Well, this August this year. Y'all know what I mean. This is number 4, and I forget what today is. I know the last day of the month is Saturday, so we've got a few more days to go. I hope it's foggy every morning, because we normally have 2 snows. I'd like to see enough foggy mornings to really tell if there's a huge difference. Normally have 2. If we have 4, my wife will claim it's because of the saying. The saying was right. Well, if we can have foggy mornings from now till Saturday and get about 3 or 4 more, then, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, get 4 more, that'd be 8. Well, that would tell the tale, because we're not going to have 8 snows, I don't think. If we have 8 snows, I might have to change sides on climate change. Oh, me. I don't do politics. I swear I don't do politics, but it gets harder and harder. I don't know that this is politics, but it's because of politics, and it's about politics. And it's not even the topic of my video today. And I swore I wasn't going to say anything about this. I promised myself I wasn't going to say anything about this, but I can't help it. If you watched my live stream Sunday, you know how I feel about community. I think it's a very important part of homesteading. I think it's an important part of life. I don't care if you live in the suburbs and you're on a quarter-acre, or yes, there's quarter-acre lots in suburban Atlanta. I don't care if you live on a quarter-acre lot, or I don't care if you live in an apartment complex. Community is important. It's not just important because of asking your neighbor for help when you need it, or helping your neighbor when you need it, when they need it, or showing up with a casserole when somebody in their family dies so that they don't have to cook. It's not just about that. Community makes us a better person. When you are part of a community, and I don't mean community as in Syracuse, New York is the community of Syracuse. I'm talking about the people right next door. I'm talking about the people that live right around you, and interacting and knowing your neighbors. That's what I mean about community. think of the Amish with their barn raisings. And yes, I mentioned that in the live stream too. I'm real impressed by barn raisings, and I think the Amish are about the only people that do that anymore. But anyway, that's what I mean about community. And it's important for ourselves. Something's happened in the last week. Matter of fact, I think it was last Friday, that shows what happens when you lose community. And this is a little bit political. I don't know how many of y'all, I would imagine most of you know who Bill Maher is. Supposed comedian, started out, I think he started out as a writer for Saturday Night Live, was mildly funny. I think he did some stand-up too before he got to be, you don't start out as a writer on Saturday Night Live, but I think he got there by being a decent stand-up comic. But I think you know who Bill Maher is. His funniness has devolved to bitter political speech. And something happened this past week that I think I could lay off to lack of community. A lot of you know, most of you know who Bill Maher is. A lot of you, if you're not political at all, you don't know who the Koch brothers are. K-O-C-H, Koch brothers. They're a couple of brothers, super rich billionaire brothers, who, if you look at stuff you buy and look on the back, manufactured by, a lot of it comes from the Koch brothers. They didn't make their millions by sitting on their rear end and hoping it'd flow into their bank accounts. One of them died. He was, I want to say 77, 78 years old, David Koch. He died last Friday. He died of prostate cancer. Now, first of all, you would think that Bill Maher and David Koch would agree politically on most stuff, because David Koch is not a conservative. He was a libertarian. Libertarian pretty much is socially liberal, physically conservative. He supports a woman's right to choose. I'm against a woman's right to kill her child. A lot of things like that. But anyway, he died. Bill Maher can't stand the Koch brothers. For one reason only. Even though they agree with a lot of his left politics socially, the Koch brothers are what Bill Maher calls climate change deniers. He's put a lot of money into supporting scientific work to look into climate change. A lot of money. Probably the biggest single contributors to, I feel, getting to the truth. People on the other side feel denying science. You would think Bill Maher would not be all that mad at Koch, except because that's the only thing they disagreed on. Bill Maher is a huge climate change person. He thinks that Al Gore hung the moon. On his show, he's got his own show. It's HBO or Comedy Central or one of those channels. He was celebrating the death of David Koch. He actually said that he had heard that he died of pancreatic cancer, and that good thing he's dead, and that Bill Maher's opinion of pancreatic cancer just went up. That's horrible. Forget politics. That is so antisocial, it's not even funny. And people in his audience applauded, laughed, clapped. I think that comes from lack of community. Most of the people in the media, left side, right side, I don't care. They live in these places like New York City, or out in the suburbs of New York City, or they live in Washington, D.C. There's no community in those cities, none. They don't know. You don't know who lives in the apartment next to you, much less the floor you're on in one of the high rises. And people are disconnected from people. See, that's another important thing about community that I didn't touch on Sunday. We have become so disconnected. This video is a good example. I'd love for us to be sitting in a room, around a table, everybody with a cup of coffee, just having the same discussion that we're having now. Except it's not a discussion because y'all can't tell me. You can feed it back in the comments afterwards, but we can't talk. And too many people, not just that live out in the country, not just YouTube creators, too many people don't have actual personal contact with people anymore. The closest they come is texting back and forth, and now the closest they come is talking on the phone. And sadly, a lot of people don't talk on the phone anymore. Once they've got a smartphone and they can text, they'd rather text than talk. You know, contact with people, actual people, not contact to people through a smartphone, texting, YouTube channel, whatever. Actual contact with people, where if you wanted to, you could reach out and actually touch them. That's community. And I think I just screwed this up. Let me start it over. I don't know what I did wrong. I touched the screen to make a point about reaching out and actually where you could touch people, and what I could see went funky. I don't know if it screwed up y'all's end or not. I'll know it when I edit the video. But if you have personal contact with people, if you see them other than through a phone or through a video or through a phone conversation, I think the way we're built, you're going to act differently. I think if Bill Maher had been out, well, number one, if Bill Maher was at all religious, and I don't care what religion, but particularly Christian, I think if Bill Maher was Christian at all, he wouldn't have said that. I think he showed his secularism. But if you're in contact with people, not just your underlings like Bill Maher, his producers and his directors and the people that make his show work and all that, but actual people, I'll bet you Bill Maher doesn't talk to the guy standing in line next to him waiting on his latte at Starbucks in the morning. I bet he doesn't turn around and say, "Hey, how you doing? Having a good day?" When you're so disconnected from people, you don't even do that. And I don't know that he doesn't do that, but I'll bet you he doesn't. I bet he thinks he's above talking to that guy behind him in line. But when you don't have contact with people, except through some electronic means, you've lost what community's all about. Community's all about, this sounds stupid, community's all about community. Community's about people in contact, actually in contact with other people, not through an electronic device, where you can go help them, they can come help you, or you can just be pleasant in passing. And when you don't have that, you turn into what Bill Maher is. You turn into somebody who could celebrate the death of someone, okay? There's a lot of people I don't much care for. If you want to get political, I don't like Nancy Pelosi. I don't like Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. I don't like Chucky Schumer. I don't wish any of them dead. I wouldn't celebrate any of their deaths. But when you can get to the point where you can celebrate a death like Bill Maher did, where you can say your opinion of the disease that killed the person just went up, like Bill Maher did. I think a big part of it is because of lack of human contact, lack of humanity. I've made that point before. Talking about school shootings and mass shootings and what causes them. Too many psychotropic drugs to fix the kids, like Ritalin. And kids being addicted to violent video games, where killing just becomes knocking off some pixels. Same thing. Personal contact. I think today's, I've often said, and this is, I'm not going to say it is an exaggeration, it might actually be true, but it might be an exaggeration. I've often said that I wish it was the 50s, and I don't mean the 1950s, I mean the 1850s. My little standing joke on that is the only thing I would miss if we went back to 1850 is reaching out on the wall, turning that little knob, and taking a nice hot shower. That's all I'd miss. Wouldn't mind hitching up the horses and go to town for supplies once a month. I'm 7 miles from town here, and it'd be an all-day trip. That'd be what you did that day. You'd feed the livestock and go to town. I wouldn't mind that. I say I wouldn't mind that. I'm pretty sure I'm telling the truth when I say I wish it was 1850. But the reason I want it to be 1850, I want to go back and get rid of technology. I am a Luddite. If you don't know what a Luddite, Luddite, if you don't know what a Luddite is, Google it. I might give a definition about it in a later video, a week or a month or a year down the road, but for right now, if you're curious, go look up what a Luddite is. And I'm sort of a Luddite. So much good. I'll acknowledge, so much good today. Excuse me. Mary Grace, you'll appreciate that one. There's an awful lot of good today because of technology, but there's an awful lot of bad. There's an awful lot of bad because of technology. Technology is not good or bad. Technology itself, it's a thing. It's how you use it. And so much technology gets used for the wrong reasons that it does a lot of bad things. I think these cell phones. I wish I didn't have a phone, except one hanging on the wall attached by a wire. You know, like they used to be. All this crap where I can finish this video, reach out and touch a couple buttons and text somebody, and touch another couple buttons and call somebody, and I've got a guy I need to let know today that his pigs are ready to be picked up starting Sunday. And I can walk around anywhere and do that. I can talk to him anywhere. I can text him. And then if I don't have service right there, it'll save it and it'll send it later when I get back where I do have service. That's great. But no, it's not. I've got some piglets that aren't sold yet. I need to call him, talk to him, and see if he could use some more, because he's buying 7. See if he could use a few more. Technology pushes us apart. A lot of technology pushes that. Simple thing like air conditioning in a car. That pushes us apart. I can remember when I was a kid, the car I drove didn't have air conditioning. Well, actually it had air conditioning, and I had more important things to spend my money on than getting it fixed. This is in my late teens. It was my second car, I think. 1967 Pontiac Tempest. No air. And a lot of people back then didn't have air in their cars, even down here in the South. I pull up at a traffic light. My windows are down because I don't have any air. This guy sitting next to me, his window's down too because he doesn't have any air. Hey guy, how you doing today? Having a good day? And he'd talk back. You could be driving down the street, didn't even have to be walking down the sidewalk, and have a personal contact with somebody. Can't do that now. Cars button up tighter than the Federal Reserve Bank. Electric windows easy to roll the windows up. Air conditioning works good. Doors are tight. You can't even hear an ambulance coming up behind you. The cars are built so tight these days. Technology that drives people apart. See, even simple things do bad things sometimes that you hadn't really thought about. This is not at all what my topic was going to be, but I'm about as long as I'm going to talk today. Today was supposed to be about, I talked before about how worry was a wasted emotion. Today I was going to talk about happy versus sad. I guess I'll have to save that for later. But community, just like I was talking about in the live stream Sunday, community is really, really important. Not just from a homesteading standpoint, not just so you'll have help when you raise a barn. I think community helps us to be better people. It helps us to be better people because we're going to go help people that need it. Yeah. But without going that far, just having community where you have contact with people, I think makes us better people. And I'm all for being better people. So I hope y'all have an awesome, awesome, awesome day. And right down there at the bottom somewhere, there's a little red button. I think it's right about below my finger here. I'm not sure. There's a little red button that says subscribe. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please do. There's a thumb down there. You can do a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Thumbs up. You can do thumbs down too, but like I've asked you before, if you're going to do a thumbs down, which by the way, somebody didn't like, I think there were either 3 or 6 thumbs down on Sunday's live stream, but they didn't comment why. But if you do a thumbs down in the comments, tell me why, so I can improve the channel. I'm not one to sit here and do things people don't like. Subscribe, thumbs up, thumbs down. Oh, when you hit the subscribe button, there's a little bell right there. I'm going to get a little bell I can shake when I do this. There's a little bell down there that you can click on, and that'll get you notifications when I do another video. And like I said a minute ago, have a great day. Have an absolutely fantastically awesome day. I'm going to. And having a great day starts with 2 things that you always need to remember. I guess maybe people who don't believe could have a great day too, or think it was a great for them. But for those of us who do believe, remembering 2 things makes it easy to have a great day. Number 1, the tomb was empty. And number 2, yes, he is alive. Now, I'm going to go enjoy my fantastic day. Y'all go enjoy yours, and I will see you later.